A little. I love that.
Oops. Hey, I'm
We're all good.
Okay. Hey everybody, it's Tanya Smith here with Stream Like a Boss, and you can find out more about us at streamlikeaboss.tv. I have noticed that there is an issue, a problem with us broadcasting into the group. So I'm going to send a quick note over to the group right now. You can join us at several different places, but let's see this link. So I'm sharing this into the group right now because I know I would have screaming and gnashing of teeth if I don't make sure that this
Uh-oh.
interview with India Delgado gets broadcast into the right spaces. So
Uh-oh.
I know it's an uh-oh. Look, if you haven't been to our show before and this is your first time, I want you to go ahead and put in hashtag newbie. And if you have been with us, I want you to go ahead and put in hashtag OG. Thank you so much for joining in tonight. I'm on live each and every week sharing tips to help coaches and consultants to leverage live streaming so that you can serve more people, stand out online, sell more of your services. And that's a little bit of what we're going to be talking about tonight, but we really are going to talk about hashtag everything because India is like my sister from another mister.
Yes.
Look, don't tell my real sister that.
I was just gonna say, you're not supposed to say that live. Shh, it's our secret.
All right. And I see some folks commenting. So let me go ahead and welcome them in to Scott. What's up? Yes, he says, "Hey, India, I'm going to share India in just a few minutes with a short bio." And then I see Yvette C. Lee Music as well. What up? What it be, y'all? Look, I want to give everybody a chance to go get your favorite drink of wine, coffee, tea, water, whatever it is you do. And we will be right back in just a couple of seconds. And I will do my formal, I'm going to say formal intro to tell you all about India Delgado, but you can't miss out on the conversation we're about to have. It can go in any number of directions. So join us in just a few seconds. We'll see you on the other side. All right, I'm going to check real quick one more thing. So, Miss India Delgado, welcome, lady.
What is going on? I won't do it too loud. I'll do it on a lower level.
She
That's the
said,
New York in me.
"You're." Usually it's really loud, like you can
It's like,
really hear her.
there you go. That's what it is. When you're in New
That's
York and you're down the block and you see your homie, you gotta say it mad loud so they can be like, "Yeah, right back." See, you just described it. You can wave. Be like, "Oh, that's India down 20 blocks." That's
India
how you
is
really
in
gotta
the
say it.
house. This is how you know she's in the house because you're going to hear the yer. Look,
There you go.
I'm double checking to make sure we are live in LinkedIn because you've
Yeah.
heard that we're not, right? It looks like we are.
Yeah, Dan. Yeah, well, he said, I don't know, Dan, he's on YouTube now, but he said the feed wasn't working on LinkedIn, so he came to YouTube.
Okay, awesome. Look, if
So,
anybody's having trouble, you can't hear me anyway. I was going to say, if anyone's having trouble, go to YouTube, but they can't
we
hear
good
me
at the
say
feed.
that.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right, Tanya. It's
So
all good.
that does not work. So look, Dan said, you know where India is by her background?
Yes, Dan. Dan is funny. I love you, Dan. Absolutely. I'm in my studio away from my studio at my long distance girlfriend's house. Yes. My home away from
Yes.
home.
So look, she was going to explain to everybody why she doesn't have the fancy dancy. She usually has the fanciest gear and setup and all the stuff, but she
Yeah.
doesn't today because she had
Yeah.
to travel long hours to
Yes.
get to her love.
Yes. The things we do for love, 4-hour commute, long distance across 4 states.
Yeah. That's a lot, girl.
That
That's a
is,
lot. But
that
look, I
is. But
get it.
she's good to me.
So then it's worth the drive. And
Absolutely.
it's worth not
I'm not gonna
having
I mean, Tanya, I'm not gonna say otherwise on the stream. It's absolutely worth You trying
Angie.
to get me out there?
I'm not trying to get her in trouble. I am not. That is not what I'm doing. That is not what I'm doing. Dang, Dan, thank you for letting us know. He said the feed wasn't
Yeah,
working on LinkedIn, so came to
yeah.
YouTube. Hopefully, folks on LinkedIn will know how to
Yeah.
get over here to YouTube. I will go ahead and put a quick note over there as well. But meanwhile,
Yeah.
we need to hear about you. I want to know. Oh, look, I've got questions already coming in.
Yeah, yeah. I should have brought my bag downstairs. Man, I should have known better. I can talk about my bag, but yes.
I want to hear
Now
about
I
having
feel
it set
bad.
up for on the go. So we got to
Yes.
talk about that. Okay, if
Yeah.
anybody has questions, look, India being in the house means that you get all the digital marketing,
Yes.
online marketing, live stream marketing, you name it, she can
Yeah.
answer all the questions. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
and okay, Dan. So Junaid, I don't know,
Yeah.
has an incredibly on the go setup. Who is that? Oh, no, you didn't. He said it's $10,000.
Nah, that's not on the go. Imma talk to Janae. 10 that's not on the go. I feel like
That's
we're
a
gonna
lot.
have to take an interlude. Imma have to run upstairs and get my bag. We can talk about it, but, I should have brought it downstairs.
That's a
Yes.
lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's
Look, here's what I want to know while I'm actually sending a note to my YouTube folks, just in case.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you tell us about you? Share with the people who you are, what you
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah.
I'm going to share my own little thoughts too, but I need people to hear from you.
Yeah. Sure. Well, I usually the way I introduce myself is I'm India Delgado, the only India Delgado that you can find on the internet. But that's not true anymore because there's another India Delgado who's apparently a nun on YouTube, but that's neither here nor there. I'm very serious. I was very disappointed when I found this out. But I am a banker by day. Right now, I do mortgages. I focus with first time home buyers. That is how I got into content creation because I teach financial literacy. So I've always been a coach at heart. When the pandemic happened, I had to continue to still teach financial literacy, but it went from in person courses, right? In person at the libraries, at the branches, at the nonprofit agencies. We transitioned to Zoom. And so, me being who I am, I said, well, I need to set myself apart from every other banker. Like, I need to have these people remember me on Zoom. Started doing research, found Ecamm, found out about overlays, stepping up my audio game, stepping up my video game. And so that is how I really started into content creation and what really kicked off me building my own business. My motto, my mantra is, I help you to digitally present your best self. Prior to the pandemic, first impressions are everything. That's a part of human nature. Usually, for us in corporate America, first impressions, you're wearing a nice press suit, you're going, decked out to the nines, you have a briefcase, right? Like all of that. You enter in a room and you want to command presence, at least in corporate America world. You command a presence because it's a first impression. Well, I feel like when the world shifted to digital conferences, video conferences, those first impressions kind of went out the wayside because you have CEOs of billion-dollar companies still using their, laptop webcams, their laptop mics, all of that stuff. And that digital first impression is where the opportunities are. And that is where I come in. I help you to digitally present your best self. Depending on your budget, depending on your level of technical expertise, I can help you either set yourself up with the right software, overlays, gear itself, again, lighting, cameras, audio, things like that. And then, transitioning that to, well, what does that look like? Are you going to be doing live streams? Are you going to be streaming just on like WebEx or Zoom or things like that? And that's kind of how I've branched out. So I like to say I am an entrepreneur first, content creator second. Um, Lots of opportunities that have come around. Most recently, I have my Stream Deck Masterclass, which is how I and Tanya and I have gotten together. And I am the community manager for a streaming company called Switchboard Live. I am a coach with LSP Live Streaming Pros. I teach a part of their accelerator program. And I'm still banking, trying to get out of that and go into business for myself full time. So that is a very long winded answer, but I don't know how to put that in a short elevator pitch.
It's not a short because you got a lot going on. I got to put some of these
Yes.
comments up because I think this is
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
interesting. So I'm gonna move this a little bit and do some scrolling because I need you to see.
Yeah. What's
Okay,
happening? Yeah, I saw comments coming through, and I'm like, "What's happening? What's going on here?"
what it do? What it do? So, okay, RK3, LinkedIn is working, so that's a plus.
It's
Yes,
great. Love I gotta
John.
link up with yeah.
RK3 in the house. Look, I'm seeing all the winners in the house. Everybody who's on
Yes.
here is a winner. So John Lacey, a second India Delgado, and a nun, no
Wait,
less.
can we stop there? And she's a weed smoking nun. Like, that's her pitch. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. It's a yes.
Okay.
It's very unfortunate.
Look, I'm
It's
not hating. I don't judge. So weed
but why she
smoking
gotta have
nun.
my name, Tanya? Like, why?
Look, my name, when it used to pull up, this was my goal 10, 11 years ago, was to
Yeah, yeah,
remove the president of the Atheist Global Alliance and the
yeah.
white supremacist cop killer, Tanya Smith. I had to try
No!
to get my name boosted above theirs. So you
No.
got a weed smoking nun, cop
I guess
killer.
I'll
I
take it.
mean,
I'll take the weed smoking nun who's trying to help, bless people and make them
with some
chill.
puff puff pray. I don't know how that works.
Right. Oh my
I
god.
mean, what? Y'all, I'm in
That
rare
is good.
form today, so this is
Clearly,
gonna be
yes. That's
interesting.
because 'cause you're hanging, because 'cause you're hanging with your little sister, that's why. Oh. Uh-oh.
Look, she said, I just got tired. I got tired just listening to she's talking about your whole long resume. So yeah, she
I
has a
know.
lot.
I do. I
There's a
do.
lot,
But it's good
Teresa.
stuff.
Oh, what
Yeah.
Dan has the same name as the editor in chief of LinkedIn. That's not
That's
too
pretty
bad.
cool. Yeah, right?
Like if you have to
I
compete with
know.
somebody, that's not a bad name.
Yeah. I'll
Okay,
take
so
it.
Teresa at digital first impression.
Let's think
Yeah,
about it, right?
that is something to think about. And Dr.
Yeah.
Elo, of course, gave you a year.
You're
She's real low key tonight. Usually
I
it's
am.
much louder.
I know. It's also because I'm not right, like, so the audio levels, I don't wanna clip. I gotta be careful. Again, I'm not home, and then the kids are upstairs as well, so Angie's trying to put them to bed, so I gotta behave too. It's all of that.
She's trying to do all the things and be
Mhm.
nice.
Yes.
Found Ecam and then the mango came to life. What, RK3?
He's because
Is
it's
he messing with
RK3.
you?
He is messing with me because it was something I think with my hair one day, I did a video, my hair was looking like a mess, and I think it was my skin tone or I had too much, it was something, and when he told me, he was like, "You look like a mango," and I went back and I looked at it, and I was mad, it was like I was mad because he was right, like, it
Oh.
was like, mm.
Wait, Scott
Right,
said,
right.
Papa pray. And Dan said, Thirsty Thursday is on for the show.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love that.
hot mess. What's up, Michelle in the house? And somebody is calling me out on Rare Form 5 Smooth Stones project.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's been a
yeah,
long week. There's just been so much going on. So, look, I
yeah.
usually have these formal questions that I want to ask, but instead, because this
Mm.
is my sister,
Yes.
I get to ask her other questions that I don't ask everybody else. So,
Uh-oh.
speaking of long weeks,
Yeah.
we both have this juggle that we do. And you talked about banking, right?
Yep.
And I'm
Yep.
in the insurance industry slash human resources, right? So we
Yep.
do these full-time gigs and then we have to put on our game face to do
Yeah.
live streaming. So can you
Yeah.
just share with the people a little bit of how you transitioned into doing both? Like what was that like for you?
So I think and I know you and I have talked about this offline. One of the things that we were both blessed with is the ability to be able to work from home, right? Like,
Yeah.
so the pandemic happened, I've always been able to kind of have a little bit of both. But then after the pandemic, I've been working from home. And that's important because working from home, not being micromanaged, not even just taking the time for like
Yeah.
travel, the commute and things like that, right? That takes out so much. And you know how it is. The other thing is you're saving time because you don't have, distractions. And
Yeah.
so I don't want to say this, but you usually, if you have a good work ethic, you can get 8 hours of work done in 4 hours, right?
It's true.
So that's the
It's true.
reality. I know bosses don't like to hear that, but that's the truth. And so that's important because for me, being able to manage my time and having that flexibility, as well as being able to work from home, really did open up the doors for me to start exploring my business and the studio space and, that virtual networking, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's being in the eCam community, whether it's being in the live streaming pros community, um, really for me, and it's having this conversation again. I am at Angie's house. This is my studio, and it's a work in progress. So it's not an actual reflection. I talk about digital presenting. What is it? Presenting, you're helping you present your digitally present your best self, and I got a white pegboard behind me. It's a work in progress. Check out my other streams. You'll know what
Yes.
I mean by that. But really going and taking the time to figure out how much I want to portion for my job as a banker. That's my real income right now, right? So I
Yep.
have to spend time with that. But how can I spend time with bringing in some sources of revenue, making sure
Mhm.
it becomes consistent. And then once that revenue becomes consistent, how can I build upon it and just bring in more and more
Mhm.
revenue streams? And then just really partnering. Ecamm was a big part of it for me, being a part of the Ecamm community, getting to know the different members within the Ecamm community, and then just creating. And the biggest part of it, and you hear it, but it's not until it clicks for you, right? Like everybody talks about that consistency because if you're consistent, opportunities will come.
That's
And it's
right.
so cliche, for lack of better words, because it's easier said than done, especially for people like us that we still work in corporate America and we still rely on our incomes from our primary jobs, right?
Mhm.
But once, and I say that because I did my 100 days of live streams where I streamed 100 days in a row, didn't miss a day. And I feel like that was the kickstart for me this year because
Yeah.
doing that 100 days is what opened the door. I launched my masterclass and my website simultaneously during that. That was insane. That was insanity. But doing that opened the door for me to start having more serious conversations with live streaming pros. I've gone on their show. I've been a guest for the last 2 years, sporadically, but showing up every day for myself opened up Loria's eyes and was like, "Wait a minute. Do you want to do this?" Right? And so again, we started, having conversations. I started showing up more. There were more opportunities that came up, and now I am a coach for their accelerator program. And then same thing, started networking on my LinkedIn. I have a LinkedIn page with over 500 followers and I have a big community on the banker side. I'm
Mhm.
not utilizing that because I'm trying to build my business and my business is not on the banker side. So
Right.
just this year, I created a my content creation LinkedIn profile, and so I started networking and building my network there. And I met the CEO of Switchboard Live, Rudy, and we started having conversations, and that created the opportunity for me to be a community manager there. And it's just all of those things. But if it wasn't for me showing up for myself every day, because it
Mhm.
wasn't for anyone else, it was just me showing up for myself every day and really doing it. Some days were good, some days were bad, some days were here, some days
Yeah.
were home, right? I showed up every day, regardless of what was happening in my life.
Mhm.
And I'm very grateful for where I am today and where I'll be next year.
I want people to kind of listen, even if you have to go back and
Thank you.
watch the replay on this, because there's a couple of things that you said in there, India, that I don't know that everybody always understands about it. Because
Yeah.
we make it look easy to
Yeah.
some people,
Yeah.
right? Some actually get it and they know how much hard work it takes to put
Yeah.
together
Yeah.
streaming, but I think sometimes we make it look easy, but the fact is you still had to put in the consistency. You had to be
Absolutely.
disciplined enough to say, not only am I going to do this, but I'm going to continue to learn as I
Yeah.
do it. And I'm not going
Yep.
to stop and wait until step A is done,
Right.
step B.
Right.
You're going to sometimes
Yeah.
do things simultaneously.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate that you shared the truth, because that's the reality of it is,
Yeah.
y'all, it's not easy to do, but it is doable.
Yeah.
But you
And
have
there's
to
and
have the desire to do it and the consistency.
Exactly. So obviously the consistency, but the other piece is the desire. And so what I was going to say is there's also seasons for it. And
Yes.
that's what happened, right? I last year came out of a I came out of a whole season. We don't even know what that season's called, but there was a season from 2020 into 2021. Like we're talking about, I was engaged in 2020, living with my ex. We broke up on New Year's Eve and I left. Like I called my brother and I was like, I need to stay at your
Mm.
house because this is not right. And I traveled 6 hours from New Jersey to Pittsburgh on New Year's Eve because I said, I can't enter 2021 with this, not that the relationship was bad, but with this baggage, right? Like if I need a clean break.
Yeah.
And so went through that, a breakup from being engaged, which is huge. Didn't have my own home, for lack of better words.
Mm.
In 4 months, found a house, put an offer, closed on a house because I closed on April 30th on my home in Philadelphia. Switched jobs. I was in one bank for 5 years and I was recruited on LinkedIn through my other profile with another bank. And I was still trying. In the beginning of 2021, I was trying to live stream while from my brother's house. I set up a studio in his basement. Like I was trying to do it
Did you have
all.
the pen board?
And I had a green screen. Shh, I had a green screen. I had a dope green screen. A lot of people didn't think that's why I wanted to bring the green screen here because a lot of people didn't think it was a green screen. Um, I tried, and I just couldn't. Between me emotionally healing from that relationship, healing
Mhm.
from not having a house, right? Like all of that stuff in such a short time frame, eventually I was sharing with my community when I was putting offers on homes and when I was looking at homes, and then I just had to stop. And I
Yeah.
didn't like it was like radio silent. I just stopped. I tried again in the summertime when I thought I was settled in, didn't work, and I
Yeah.
stopped for the rest of the 2021 year.
Mhm.
January rolls around, so now we're a little bit we're like 8 months into my home. I'm like furniture, right? Like I'm completely settled. Feel good about my life. I'm in, my new relationship. Like I that's why I say a season that we don't even know what that season we're going to call it.
Yeah.
And so I started streaming consistently on Sundays again for ladies night. And I was like, I need to do this for me. I need to like know that I can be consistent. Like, am I in or am I not in? Right? Like you
Yes.
took such a long break. Is it still for me? And
Mhm.
so I was mulling over. I did it in January, was streaming consistently. And then at some point in March on a ladies night, I came up with the grandiose idea. I think I want to do 100 days worth of live streams. I I I don't know what I was thinking. I was probably hanging out with the other India that night.
I mean, it's kinda like when I decided I was gonna do a year, but for me, it was a little different. I said I'm gonna do once or twice a week for an entire year, and that was whatever the goal is that you set for
Right,
yourself. Once you
right.
are committed to it and you meet it,
That's it.
amazing things can happen. You
That
don't have
is
to do
it.
exactly the
Yes,
way that somebody else is doing it, but you have to, in here, commit to
that
a
is it.
goal.
That is it, and that's what happened, right? So I molded over, I shared it with the
Yeah.
community were like, "Yeah, do it," and I started in March, I did 100 days, I did not miss regardless of what was happening with the bank, with,
Mhm.
me, how I felt. I launched my website, I launched a masterclass, so it was a totally different season, but I'm so grateful that once I made that commitment to myself and I followed through, like, I look back and we're ending off the year and I can list off all of the amazing things that happened
Yes.
to me in 2021. It's like, yes, that is not in 2021, in 2022. That is a win. Like, yes. So
Mhm.
you
And
got to be
Teresa
ready for it.
says, I love that you're grateful for where you will be next year. Yeah, because I mean, you have to be grateful in every moment
Yep.
and know that wherever you are is where
Yep.
you're supposed to be at the time. And if you do need to
Yes.
pause, if you need to start again, if you need to
Yep.
quit and say, this is not for me, that's okay
Right.
too.
Yep.
You just need to be mindful that you can't put it out there and say, I want to do it and I want to have this, but then not do the work to have whatever this means to you. And I'm doing
Yep.
air quote this because this could mean
Right.
anything for
So
any
many
of you.
things. Yep. 100%. 100%.
And I saw John Lacey said this, so I want to ask you a question about it to follow up.
Sure.
He said, time management and energy management are so important. It's been a
Mm.
long year and I'm so tired. That is one thing I do want to ask your thoughts about when it comes to
Yeah.
creator burnout. That's like a real thing that I'm hearing a lot of creatives talk about.
Yeah.
I heard Roberto Blake, he's talked about it quite a bit in his different videos. And I've
Yeah.
heard a couple other people talk about it too. So,
Yeah.
do you have any advice or thoughts around that for people that are watching?
Yeah, I personally don't think it's talked about enough. I feel like it's becoming more prevalent now, and it could be that it's becoming more prevalent because now we're coming out of 2, 3 years out of the pandemic,
Yeah.
and so the people who really, like, were live streaming and capitalized because that was an opportunity to capitalize, right? So the people who took an opportunity and capitalized, they're now really, if they didn't take any breaks and didn't do any self-care, are absolutely feeling the effects. So now I feel like it is more openly spoken about, but I think that there's opportunities for that to continue to be a topic of conversation and for people to be okay to be vulnerable. Because
Yeah.
even with my 100 days, I shared openly. I think at around day 70-ish, I was like, because there was a lot between
Mhm.
everything. I felt like I was depressed. And there was not just the live streams, but Angie and I, we live 4 hours away. My mom and
Yeah.
my brother, they live through 4 hours. So Angie lives 4 hours north, and my mom and my brother live 4 hours west in Pittsburgh. So I'm by myself, and relying on the online community is important for me, right? Like, it is crucial, but that's not a replacement for, like, the
Yeah,
real
having real
tangible.
people.
Right, real people and real self-care, and what happened was because I was committed to those 100 days, and I was up there when I launched my masterclass. I was up till about 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because I was working
Yeah.
in the bank, doing my 100 days, little bit of rest here and there, and then once I did my little bit of rest, I came back to the studio and I started recording the courses,
Yep.
for my masterclass and building out the website. And so what went to the wayside was my self-care in multiple forms. In physical form where I stopped
Mhm.
riding my bike, I stopped working out, I stopped spending time with myself in the morning, like my mindfulness and my journaling and stuff. And on it or whatever it was in the 70s, I it hit me and I was like, we're talking about Tanya. I was crying, like telling Angie,
Yeah.
I'm depressed. Like really like legit sad, depressed, like in a slump.
Mhm.
And then I think sharing it, being vulnerable with the community, sharing it, talking about it with, Angie, talking about it with my mom and trying to spend more time here and doing things so that I wasn't physically alone was
Yeah.
definitely helpful. And then once the 100 days was up, it was like, okay, I know what not to do. So I know for me, I need to, if I'm super stressed out, I need to make sure that I continue to work out in whatever form that is. I need to make sure that I journal, right? So if I do a challenge like that again, don't push the self-care to the wayside. Figure something else out to push to the wayside. And even if that means at that point taking a break in the middle of a challenge, right? If it becomes I committed to 100 days, but now I'm not finding time to work out, well, guess what? I'm going to take a break from the 100 days.
Yeah.
Um and
Yeah.
so there are times now, even like I won't stream. I said I was going to consistently stream every week, right? Like now I have two shows I do on Tuesdays, Tech Talk Tuesdays. I do Ladies Night on Sundays. And sometimes if I have a lot going on, or even if it's not a lot going on, if my body's not feeling it and I don't have a guest, it's different if I have a guest. But if I don't have a guest, I'm not streaming that week
Mhm.
because I can't go through what I went through before I saw how real it is. And the other piece of it is, who am I proving what to? Like sometimes people get
Right.
caught up in that, right? Right,
It's
Tanya?
true.
Right.
It's true. We just
Who
yes.
am I proving what to by streaming whatever it is? Again, if I have a
Yeah.
commitment, like when you came onto my show or,
Mhm.
a night like that's different. But if it's something where I'm just gonna talk and I don't have an actual commitment, but I know that I'm putting in the work for Switchboard Live as a community manager with
Mhm.
the accelerator with the accelerator program with live streaming pros. If I'm putting in the work, I don't need to prove to someone else that I'm not putting in the work because I didn't show up on Sunday.
That's right.
So I think a lot of people sometimes get caught up in that. No, you can't make excuses. You can't half-ass it, for lack of better words. But you gotta put yourself first and just, I guess, think about when you're making those decisions is, am I forcing myself to do this because it's a commitment to me,
Right.
or is it because I need to prove to someone else that I can be consistent?
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
real talk,
I
real talk.
definitely think there has to be some reality checks at times for us to
Yes.
make sure that we're looking at the why. One of the
Yep.
biggest things you can do to help really kind of set the tone not only for the live stream content that you create, but
Yeah.
also for the other things that you're doing, the
Right.
offerings that you put on, the coaching,
Right.
is
Right.
remember that it's not about you doing this to show off or doing
Right.
it because you think you have to because you saw so and so and so and so and so and so do it. I'm
Right.
really at a point in my life, in my career, in my age where
Mhm.
I don't know necessarily that I care as much about what everybody
Yeah.
else is doing. If what
Yeah.
I know is doing I'm doing is fulfilling my
Yeah.
purpose, I
Yep.
feel good about doing it and I feel joy in doing it and it's
Right.
making a positive impact. But I don't want to
Yep.
do things for show anymore.
Yep. I agree
So, yeah,
wholeheartedly.
examining all of that. Look, we went down. I did not ask not one, not Nan,
That's all
like
right.
my family would say, not Nan question on this list was asked.
I mean, you did say that in the beginning. I mean,
I did warn
that's
everybody.
all
I
right.
did.
You did, you did, you did.
So tell me about roadblocks. I'll ask one of the questions. I want to know, do you feel like at this point, now I'm not even going to ask roadblocks. I'm going to go this
Mm,
path.
okay.
With the future state of India Delgado
Yeah,
live streaming
yeah.
for the next 12 months, what are some big goals that you have? What do you really want to accomplish? What are some things that you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to do?
So a goal, which is gonna be putting in the work to get to this goal, but one of the goals that I gave for my, and it's a stretch, right? So again, working in corporate America and working in sales, there's your goals and then there's your stretch goals. My stretch goal that I gave myself is I wanna hit 5,000 subscribers, so I'm at, like, 1,300 subscribers, so that's a stretch goal, right? And it's not that it's not doable because you can have just one video.
Yep. And
One
it
video
does it all.
is blows it up, right? So it's not that, and if I give myself a year, think about it, if I give myself a year, if I start I it's a stretch goal, and it's a stretch because that means that I have to do more than just, so what's a part of those goals is that I gotta start really putting in quality, long form content, right? I stopped doing that. I know that there's potential there,
Mm-hmm.
so making sure that I put in the work with
Yep.
that, because that's a lot of work with the long form, right? Because there's
It
your,
is.
what topic do I talk about? The scripting, like that's a job in it of itself. Live streaming is just, so that's why it's so much easier for us, like, to do things like live streaming, because it's not that it's not scripting, but you just show up, and once the live stream is done, the live but that is not the case with long form content. Like, you gotta go
Yeah.
back and then edit or send it off to someone to edit, but you're still editing with them. But hitting 5,000 subscribers, obviously consistently live streaming, um, putting out pre-recorded videos, and then that's in terms of the content itself.
Yep.
In terms of being an entrepreneur for the year, idealistically, I want to give myself a full year and really put myself in a place that at once a year is up 365 days, I can say that I have enough sources of revenue coming in to replace my income.
Yeah.
And that's a mix of things because it doesn't have to be what my income is now as a banker, like we said before the stream, paying off some debt, right? Because if I pay off
Yep.
some debt, then obviously my income comes down a little bit. So, and then looking at different revenue streams. But then what that looks like to me is spending more time networking, literally physically networking now out in the community, showing people what live streaming is, what remote production is. I've actually put in an application to be a speaker for a conference called Women in Tech. I haven't, they said that they're not going to tell you till like 120 days before the event, but I did put in the application to talk, so that's a huge goal
That's
for
huge.
me. I'm excited. I have a good feeling about it. I have a good feeling about it, but I'm very excited for that. And then just partnering with different people. I met with someone who owns a marketing agency here in Philadelphia. So looking for opportunities to, build out content and do actually live stream, on-site live stream production.
Mhm.
um, and when I put all of those things together, that's what's going to really put me in a place that I pick from, okay, so I have revenue coming in from being a community manager. I have revenue coming in from being a coach. I have, right,
Yep.
all these different sources. You put those streams of revenue together. At that point, I am a consultant, I'm an entrepreneur. And then I can say, well, this pot of money from all these places, I can really let the bank go. So that
It's
is
sustainable. Yeah.
I'm excited
Sustainable.
for it. I have a good feeling about it. I have a good feeling
I
about
have a
it. So I'm
good
very
feeling for
excited.
you. I
Thank
do.
you.
So we're going to
Thank you.
be keeping in touch and keeping each other
Yes.
uplifted on this journey because I mean, I
Yes.
have some thoughts on that too. John Lacey has a question. And then I know there was another question about your on the go kit. And you don't have to
Yeah, yeah,
go
yeah.
get it, but if you can
Okay,
kind of
we can
share
talk
some
about it.
thoughts about that.
Yep.
First, let's answer the question about do you repurpose your live streams? So the recordings that you have, do you repurpose those?
Not really. I probably should. And I'll say not really because it's not my, and Tanya knows, and John, he's watched a few of my live streams. I'm very
There's
like
Angie.
spon hey, hey girl, hey. Oh, look, she came in at the end, so no, we have to stop talking bad about her. Just kidding, just kidding. But I get squirreled very easily. This is a good point why I don't repurpose my live streams because I'm very off the cuff, right? I feel like that's what makes me engaging. That's what helps build my community because I am off the cuff in a way where we can have a very candid conversation. But what I've found sometimes is that that type of stuff sometimes is hard to repurpose,
Yeah.
um, to make it make sense to someone who's not watching the entire live stream. However, what I am looking forward to now, which I think will make it a little bit easier, and I was actually really upset that they didn't release it when you were my guest on my show, is on Ecamm's latest beta is the video ISO. So what that
Oh,
does, right? Because what that
yeah.
does is the vision is, right, I'm recording my video file, it's an entirety, my camera file in its entirety,
Mhm.
your camera feed in its entirety. So then at that point, because what happens is with live streams, especially like this, it's
Yep.
harder to repurpose a section. Right. You get it.
Yep.
You get it. Right. So like just
Yep.
cut me out, like unless you're intentional with how you're switching scenes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
However, with video ISO, if let's say like again our interview when you came on my show, you started talking, you're dropping gems. If I would have had just your video feed,
Yep.
that would have been way easier, and it will be in the future, way
Mhm.
easier to now take that clean video feed of my guest and really just put out there. Or if I'm doing something on my own, right,
Yep.
have you can because you can dictate which camera feeds you want to record for video ISO and then putting that together. So
That's
I have
slick.
not, but I once that came out for me, the wheel started turning and I said, all right, this is going to be much easier for me to repurpose my live streams. So I am
That is
excited
super
for that.
slick. Super slick.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
John knows. He said squirrel.
Squirrel
I know.
100 all the time. He gets it. He knows because he's been on the show and I don't have my overlay to put the little squirrel on the screen. I even have an overlay that a squirrel comes on the screen and it points at me.
I love it. And you also mentioned something that I had a squirrel moment about
Yeah.
repurposing. So for me, I
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
repurpose mine, but it's because I am much more structured. You're kind of
You
off
are.
the cuff.
Yes.
And I'm more, okay, I've got this
Yes.
topic and this is what we're going to talk about. But
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the beauty. And this is something I want people who are just starting out with live streaming to
Yeah.
understand too, that the beauty of live streaming is you can create content however you want.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you can have some
Yeah.
off the cuff, you can have some structure, you can have some
Yeah.
shorts, you can have some long form, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
And the technology is keeping up with all the vision, right?
Right. Yeah.
So everything that you just talked about with ISO, I wasn't even aware for sure of how I wanted to use that, but you just gave
Yeah.
me some ideas that I hadn't even thought about before. And One
Yeah.
thing that I'm really going to do a deep dive into next year is more live stream selling because, dang, there's a lot of tech and a lot of tools out
Yeah.
there that are going to be super helpful for that, including
Yep.
even Restream
Yeah.
added this. I mean,
I
it's
saw.
brilliant.
I
It's got
saw.
a
Yeah.
QR code for live selling.
Yeah,
What the
scanning.
heck?
I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. I know.
People can pick up their phone and literally just scan the screen and buy from you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts. I know. I need to get on my game. I'm still not an Amazon, like, influencer, like, approved for Amazon. I keep applying and it's like, "No, I get denied." Whatever. I'll get there eventually.
You will get there. Look, just
I
keep
know.
doing it. Just keep
That's it.
applying.
Every day. That's
That's
it.
what I had to do for LinkedIn. Like they were approving all of my clients.
That's
and
funny.
and I was sitting there like, but I taught her how to do live streaming.
Right?
You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
what do you mean? Right, right, right. Yeah.
And I've applied
It
5
happens.
times and you're not saying anything. I was all
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
disappointed and feeling bad about that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Let's see. Okay, the other question was about your on the go. I was trying to find the
Yeah,
actual question. So on the
yeah,
go, talk about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, so because Angie and I are in a long distance relationship, having my gear, again, going back to being consistent. And I think it was when I started the 100 days, or it might have even gone back to last year where I was like, all right, I like to stream and I don't want to use it as an excuse. And Angie's very supportive. You see, she shows up in the streams and she's really great with that stuff. She lets me do my thing. Um, and so it was a mess carrying a capture card and HDMI and a cable and this and your lens and if I had a microphone, like all of that stuff, it was, I mean, I was like, I need to make my life easier. So I went on a search for an Amazon bag. I ended up finding, and what I'll do is I'll send Tanya like the links to the stuff so she can at least post it in her communities and maybe I'll do a,
Yeah,
a quick walkthrough. But I found a bag which online looked great. It's like a two-layer bag, two compartments. And the front half compartment is just for cables. And so what I did was I sat down, I literally looked at, and I started to actually, Angie started to compile a list for me as I started to go back and forth. What would happen was when I would set up to stream on Sundays, it was like, I didn't bring my capture card. And then the next Sunday, it was like, I didn't bring the XLR cable. Literally, it was like every that and Angie's very structured. Like you talk
Yes,
about like you guys can have all the conversations because Angie's very she'll put together a spreadsheet. So she literally put together an Apple shared notes
I love
and
it.
one night started saying, you missed this, you missed that, you need that. And then watch me as I put together my little desk and so that's one piece of advice, right? So if you know, look at how your streaming gear is now or what you're using and start to do however that works for you. In a Google Doc, I use Apple Notes. It was easier because we can share the notes right with other people
Mhm.
and just do a checklist. And then once you get your checklist together, you start to either, if you have extras, I just went out and bought extras of what I didn't have, right? So I bought an extra cam link. I brought extra micro HDMI cables for my Sony. I have extra Sony batteries. I brought extras of everything. And then it wasn't, oh, I did it once and it was no, it happened, I would say probably 2 or 3 times where I thought I had the bag together and it was like, "Oh, darn it. Okay, add that to the list." And then put in another Amazon. So it has been absolutely a year's work in progress.
Yeah.
But I tell you, I pick up that bag now, and of course, it doesn't include my camera or anything like that, but, like, this is the most recent thing I got. I got my little so it's my Loop Deck Live,
Oh,
right? This is so it's like a stream deck. The reason why I got this one is because it's much smaller, it's much thinner, and so
yeah.
this is my portable keyboard shortcut thingy on the go, and I just added this, a month ago to
I
my
like
bag,
it.
right? So it's a work in progress as you start to actually you put your bag together, but you're not gonna know. I love to say you don't know what you don't know. I love to say that because that is such a very real thing, and I think people
It's
sometimes
real.
beat themselves up, right? They, like, force themselves, and they're like, beat themselves up, like, "Oh, I wish I didn't woulda known that." Well, you don't know what you don't know
You
what you
don't
don't
even
know,
know.
like, that's it.
Teresa said we're going to get
Um,
you on we want you to be an
yes.
Amazon influencer, so we're going to help you just
Thank
get those
you.
Amazon links to us.
Thank you. I will. I'll send Tanya a shared Apple Note, and I'll put it together. Like I said, and I'll do a quick video for the community. But it's really great. So listen, I took it a step further this weekend. Again, it's a growing thing. I did take it a step further this last weekend. So Angie planned a date night in Manhattan, in the city. And I was like, so we're going to B&H? And she was like, you're going to go to B&H. I'm going back home on Sunday. I swear to God, that's what happened. She
BH
said, I love you,
photo
but I
video.
don't love you that much. And she did as much. Listen, we got together on Saturday morning, all the way from we were together from 9 o'clock Saturday morning till we parted ways, I think like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. The entire to the last drip of coffee on Sunday morning, she was like, no, I'm not coming with you. She did not come
But
with me.
I
I went to
love
B&H by
that
myself.
store.
No,
I love it's like a playground for any digital creator.
exactly. And she knows that. And she was like, you're not even going to pay attention to me.
I know.
No. So I went to B&H and I picked up a used Pelican case with foam that had the foam built in.
Mm.
I'm going to send you a video of that because then that's really crucial when I take longer trips. Like I'm going to be here till maybe Monday or Tuesday of next week. So I had to bring a lot more gear than the one bag. And
Okay.
so I put so now in the Pelican case, I carved out in the foam, the bag sits in, but then I carved out, I have 4 lenses. I have a Rode shotgun mic. I have my GoPro gear there. Like we're talking about, and it's all secure and it's in a little rolly tech pack.
That's
So,
awesome.
so you want to
So
talk about
so you're
travel gear?
rolling through
I'm
like,
ready.
"Hey." Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
we
got
need
this.
pictures, video. We need something,
I
and I'm
got
gonna
you.
put it into Stream Bosses Academy so that it will
Yes.
sit there for all eternity so that people can come and look in
Yeah.
awe at
Yeah.
India's kit.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I got it down to a science, man.
Look, Bridget
Yes,
said,
I am a major tech geek. I am.
"Look, I warned you all." Yes, she is. She is. But she is
All
one
right.
of the
Yes.
best tech geeks out there
Thank you.
because, look, India has a knack for making things that are complicated, much like I do, but in a different way. Things that are complicated, she makes them simple. She
Thank
helped
you.
me to set my stream deck up, which I, in honor of her, have halfway used
Mm.
tonight.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I've
Halfway, I'll
been
take it.
I've been
I'll
using
take it.
it. Let me see. Mm. Look, because look, let me tell y'all the secret. When you get to be over 50 and your eyes are look like struggling,
You're so funny.
I'm gonna
I
make
can't
that
with you.
you can't read
I'm gonna buy you a big magnifying sheet to put
I can't
over.
read these little
I
bitty
can't.
old letters on these buttons on Stream Deck. What? I need it to be close to my face, and that will just not look right in the camera. So,
Right, 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 right,
look, I know some people are like, whatever. Oh,
right,
look,
right.
learn. Okay, so John Lacey said when he was teaching, he would carry 15 laptops in a trolley. Never again.
Yeah,
And
that's nuts.
Bridget, you feel my pain because I have reading glasses for days, like
Yeah,
everywhere,
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
What's up,
yeah.
tech troublemaker? Hey, hey, hey,
Roy, what's going
hey.
on? What is
Awesome
going?
sauce.
You're, you're.
Ye- she did. See, she's doing the muted version. Y'all have to go to India's show to hear the real version of the yerk.
You're listen the sound. I got the sound effects on my Rodecaster Pro and everything. I got a stream overlay. I listen.
Lord. Okay, now I got to end it off with this. So I got to get her
Mm,
back. This is going to be
yeah,
a surprise. I have the cards. So
I love
India
it.
on her show
I'm
actually
so excited.
I know. This is like exciting to me because it's the first time I've used it. I bought it right after I was on India's
Nice.
show and she pulled up this pod decks.
Yeah,
And so she pulled it up and it has questions like that you can ask from all kinds of different decks. And
yeah.
so I bought it. I got an annual subscription, ma'am.
I love it. I
Mhm.
love it. It's worth it. When you do what we do, like interviewing people, you
Mhm.
saw. You know what's so funny when you came on my show? So Rocky Nash was on my show the next week. She watched our show and she was like, India, some of those questions you can't ask me.
I
I'm much
know.
more reserved. And I was like, listen, it threw me and Tanya off.
It
I
threw
wasn't
me
trying
off
to
for
ask it threw the
sure.
both of us off. I was like, okay, next.
She got me with really good with the question. So I'm not going to be that bad to her, but I am going to ask some questions. So I'm going to do three. So
Okay.
whatever three pop up, I know John said, "Uh-oh, the decks."
The decks. The decks. I like
Let's
it.
see. I'm just scrolling through here. Let's do New Year, New You.
Let's
Let's see what
do it.
pops up. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just going to click go and see what happens. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's too easy.
Absolutely.
I'm
Angie.
not, that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
No,
Okay. Wah, wah,
I'm
wah.
good.
Okay.
And I already asked you that. Let's see. Have
You
you ever?
did.
That's not even, that's old. No, I don't like these. Okay, we're going
Okay.
to
Okay.
something. We're going to
Okay. All right.
hypothetical questions. We're going
Okay.
to do
Let's
that.
do it. All right. Okay.
Bridget
All right.
is Pod Decks.
Yep.
I will share my
Yep.
link. Okay, so
Yes.
this is good. What animal would be way better if it was covered in scales?
None. I don't want
It's
no
about.
animal covered in scales is good. You can't make it better. No. My
Let's see.
brother has 2 bearded dragons, and when I was staying
Oh,
with him in I can't even talk now thinking about it. He would let them out. Listen, I would be so because my mom lives with my brother, I would be and I'm the oldest, I would be screaming at the top of my lungs, "Mommy, tell Joseph to put those." No animals are I'm serious. No. Mm-mm.
bearded dragons, they're like huge lizards. That
Ye Yes. I'm
okay.
getting goosebumps thinking about it. He loves them. They have names. He's had them for years.
I can't
He
do
puts them on
that.
his shoulder.
Mm-mm.
No. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Exactly. Mm-mm.
So we're
No.
gonna say no to okay,
No.
no. But you have to tell the people about your dog. So
Koa. Yeah.
Koa
I
is
love
the
Koa.
best
Koa. She
baby.
was down here and then she left. Well, because she's with Angie and she misses Angie. So Koa, the puppy.
I'm doing
Koa,
paranormal.
let's do it. While you pick a card, Koa, one day I was doing one of my 100 days of live streams. Koa's a white pit bull. She's all white with gray spots. And she got into Frank's Red Hot sauce. Gabe fell in love with her that night because I didn't know till after the stream and I go up and her whole coat, I'm gonna text you a picture. Her whole
Oh
coat was
gosh.
orange because of the hot sauce.
That baby. Look, we
Mhm.
had my dog Devo, a dachshund. She was the fakest dog ever. She was really old, and at the time, she was really on her last leg. We thought she
Yeah,
was super sick. We
yeah,
thought she was dying this particular night because she
yeah.
came, she was walking really slow, and she had this stuff that looked like maybe she had nausea, and
No, yeah.
it had red in it, and we were like, "Oh my god." And so we
Traumatized.
took her out on the porch, and the
Yeah,
girls like laid a blanket on my lap and put her
yeah,
on me, and then we're rubbing her, and
yeah,
she's soaking
yeah,
it all in, and we're thinking,
yeah.
it's just anytime.
That's
And
it.
one of my daughters is
Right.
crying.
Yeah.
The other one went in the laundry room and found a taco paper. Like there was a taco apparently that my daughter had forgotten she had left in the laundry room. Diva had
No.
gotten into the bag and eaten the taco, and that's what all the stuff was. And when she heard my daughter say, "Oh
No.
my God, Diva,"
She got up.
she
She
got
got
up
up.
and
She
she's
knew she
like,
was in trouble. Right.
she runs off.
No, she
I'm telling you, dogs are like people.
dogs are funny. They are. They're
Good
funny.
grief. Okay, here's your
Yeah.
second question. What non-horror movie scared you the most?
So when you were telling your story, I did peek and I started to think about it. So I love to be scared. So give me all the scary movies.
Oh, wow.
Non-horror movie. What came to mind was the movie Fahrenheit 9/11.
Oh,
It's a documentary of how a conspiracy theory slash documentary of how the events for 9/11 kind of supposedly were planned. And that was very chilling watching because some of the stuff, it's like, did that really was
yeah.
really? Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I would say that.
Whew. Okay, I'm getting out of paranormal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm getting away from that.
Sometimes you gotta get out and then just go in. That's it.
Okay, I gotta find a good one for you. Look, you got me.
I did. We went into WTF. Was it or NF? No, it was not safe for work, I think.
It was not safe for
It was
work.
not safe for work. That's what it was.
Cause I was like, what the heck kind of question is this? Yeah, these are easy. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm passing by a
You're like,
few.
mm.
Let's see. I'm not. Yeah. Okay. How
See,
about
that's
this
why.
one? This is number 3. What type of
What type
contest
of
do you think would be fun to judge?
Hmm.
I'm giving you some safe ones.
Yeah, these are safe. A contest that would be fun to judge? I don't know. I'm trying to think of something different, like, besides the usual what the first thing that came to mind was, like, when you're at the carnivals, but that's not really a contest unless they make it into I'll just say a hot dog eating contest. But what I was gonna say is, like, if they can make a contest, when they have, like, the dunk tanks, maybe
Yeah.
who falls in the tank, like, the funniest or something.
Who has the like best flair when they fall?
Yes. Oh, that would be really fun.
That would
That
be
would
awesome.
actually be really fun. Absolutely. We need to make that a contest. That would actually be really fun.
Okay, we're doing that. One
Okay, I
day.
like it.
I don't know
I like it.
when, but one of these days. All right. Well, thank you
I
for
like it.
indulging me in my 3 questions.
Yes, all good.
Tech Troublemaker said he's a romantic comedy kind of person. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm not
oh.
really. I like you know what? I like horror films and I like sci fi. Oh,
Yeah.
John says lip syncing contest.
That would be fun.
That
Depends.
would.
It could
That
be
could be
boring
cute.
though, you know.
Cake decorating. Yeah. I suck at cake decorating, so I don't know if I would. But Teresa, you would be great. I just love it. I love it, guys. Thank you for indulging me. I want to share with the people
Aw.
as we
Yeah.
get ready to wrap up just how to
Yeah.
find you so that they can stay connected with my good friend and sister. So, this is your website. This is at
Yep. Yep.
courses.indiad.live, which I'm getting ready to type in here because I forgot to put my little typing on in here. So, definitely come and visit her there.
Yep.
Um, and I'm trying to pop it up real quick, y'all. Sometimes I'm a little lame with this. Like I forget.
No, you're all good.
It's
All
easier for
good.
me to do it in other spaces, but Ecamm Live, for some reason, I have this like mental block.
Really?
I don't know why
Mm.
that is, but there's her
Oh,
site.
yep.
See, I did it.
You
Hey.
did. It looks great. I love it.
So this is her site. And then
Yep.
also I want you to visit her at India Delgado on
Yes.
YouTube. So this
Y
is the YouTube, and I'm going to try to pop that up real quick here.
Yep.
And you definitely need to go and subscribe because you are actually monetized now, right?
I am. I got monetized, about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, very recently. I just got monetized very, very recently, so super excited. Yep. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
super jealous, but then I was like, I'm jealous, but in a good way. Like, I want that too.
Yeah.
But I'm very
Listen,
excited for you. So,
those
congratulations.
100 days thank you. Those 100 days of live streamings is what helped me get over that hump of the 4,000 watch time hours. But thank you.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You have a great day
Yeah.
too, John
Thanks,
Lacey,
John.
because I know
The
John is
best.
overseas, so he's not in the same time zone.
Got you.
So,
Got you. Yeah,
and
yeah.
Scott
Horror
loves horror.
movies.
That's
Yeah.
not a surprise because
Yeah.
Scott and I are so much alike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're very much
Yeah.
alike. Okay, so one more thing. I know you were going to give the people a link. Is it in the courses
It is in the
page?
courses, so you can go to the courses and then the code, yeah, if you just click on the courses,
Hold on. Let me pop
um
this back up real quick
yep,
because I'm doing the most. Because,
alright, it's alright.
I'm going to do this because I want to
Yeah,
make sure that everyone can benefit from what you have here. So go to
yeah,
courses, go to the store.
yep, yep,
Okay.
so on courses.indiad.live, you click on the store, and then, that's something Dr. Elo and I are working on. We're doing a masterclass for our Latino family to do,
Love
learn
it.
eCam. Yep. But if you scroll down a little bit, we have the Stream Deck Masterclass. That is how Tanya and I connected. And basically, you get full access to the lessons of the masterclass. And then there's two packages, just the lessons or the one on ones. Tanya did the one on ones. And then for you guys, because you are in the Stream Like a Boss community, I did create a special coupon code, and it's Stream Like a Boss 20. And you get 20% off of my classes, whether it's eCam consulting or the Stream Deck master classes. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, yeah,
Look at
yeah.
that, y'all. I'm going to put it
There you
right
go. Stream
there.
like a boss 20. That's the coupon code. You get 20% off of basically, I mean, even if you wanted the eCam in Espanol, I mean, you never know who may watch the stream.
Mhm.
20% off of anything in the store. Just let me know. Yep.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And
Yeah.
thank you again for coming and
No,
hanging
thank
out with
you.
me. I know it was like just kind of like a whirlwind. Woo! What's she going to
It's
ask?
all right. It's good. No, it's good. I love this type of stuff. It's all good.
Those are the most fun to me when I get a chance to
Yes.
like. And here's the thing, 2022 for me has been amazing because I've gotten a chance to meet people like you and that
Yeah.
I really, really gel with. That's one of the
Yep.
reasons why I love live streaming and all that we do in this space. So
Yep.
I'm just blessed that I got a chance to be a part of your journey and you're a part of mine. And we will stay
Yeah.
connected in 2023, ma'am.
Absolutely. Yes. Super
Yes.
excited.
Yes. And don't forget to share the Amazon links for the get set
Yeah,
up
I'll put
bag.
together a video. I'll
I'm gonna
put
go.
together a video showing the case and the Pelican case, the bag, and then I'll put together a nice list with the links. Definitely.
Very cool. Very cool. Any last parting words before we let you go? Thank you, Teresa. We
Thank
appreciate it.
you. Thank you. Yes. Parting words. Yeah.
She still did the muted version.
That's it. I did because Angie's gonna be like, the kids are asleep. I have to behave. No, but no, thank you for having me. It's always good connecting with you and having conversations. So I had a great time. And that's it. We're gonna kill it next year.
We are. We are. And
We're gonna
everybody,
kill it.
hey, anybody want to join along with us? Just stay
That's
tuned.
it.
Stay
That's it.
subscribed. Stay
Absolutely.
connected because we got some big things coming. All
Yes.
right.
Super
I-
excited.
I'm going to wrap things up. Miss India, thank you again. Folks, we really appreciate you coming every week to the Stream Like a Boss show. In 2023, I'm going to have more guests. I'm going to have some panels. We're doing something called Table Talks with Tanya, which is going to be really interesting because we're going to have two or three panelists and we're just going to do some round robins of different questions and answers and similar to the card deck that you saw, but focus more on video marketing, content marketing, business strategy, all of the things. So, very excited about all that's coming. I hope that you have an amazing holiday. Just in case we don't get to connect, have a wonderful and blessed time no matter what you're doing. I know this is also a very difficult time for some of you and for me as well, because I lost some really amazing people in my life around this time of the month. Sorry. My grandmother was one of those very special people, but so I do recognize that this time is not always a happy time. And I want to wish those of you who are feeling however you feel the permission and the grace to really let yourself feel all of that and come out of it, right, with grace and recovery and healing. Whatever you need in the end of this year, I hope you have that. Thank you again for coming, and we will see you next time in the stream. And I will make sure to pass on the thanks that you're sharing with India as well. Take care, everybody.